Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, Anita Finley.
Yum, yum. Oh, boldly Brazilian, daringly delicious. It's Giraffas Brazilian Grill. And I have Carolina Frederiksen, who is the marketing director for Giraffas, here with us to talk all about it. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Anita. Thanks for having me.
I am getting so fat now that it's because I indulge when I go to Giraffas.
Giraffas' food is really, really good. I mean,
well, it's fresh.
It's fresh. All of our proteins are all natural, so it's good for you kind of food. We have many, many options as for sides. Of course, we offer the rice and the beans as our Brazilian experience, but you can choose your third side. And we have great burgers, also all natural. It's just good for you, yummy, delicious food.
Well, let me just say that I had not heard of you until somehow I just got a message to come visit, and I am really hooked. I was trying to think about that. First of all, I'm a color person. I love colors, and when you drive by and you see the oranges, the greens, it's very, very what I would call Latin America, but more Brazilian.
Well, Giraffas is a Brazilian chain originally. Even though we're small here in the USA, we have 8 locations right now. In Brazil, throughout all of the country of Brazil, we have more than 420 locations. So it's big down in Brazil, definitely.
So tell us about the founders and who came up with this great idea, and then we'll talk all about the food after you tell us what this was.
The founder is Carlos Guerra. He's from Brasilia, which is the capital of Brazil. And it started off kind of like after night clubbing kind of place. You're hungry at 3 a.m. and you want a really good cheeseburger. And that's kind of where it started. And then it just started growing from there. And we've been in Brazil since 1981. And then we moved here to the USA. And we've been here since 2011.
And what I like about it, and you just kind of hit the nail on the head, that whatever you order is going to be the centerpiece. It's going to be really important. And of course, on our December issue, for anybody who's listening and you've gotten Boomer Times, you will see this magnificent, what looks like a cheeseburger, but it's a lot more than that. It's the Brutus Burger.
Oh, it's our Brutus Burger, and it's our legendary Brutus Burger because it comes from our founder. He created it. And it has a fried egg, it has bacon, it has cheese. Oh my gosh, it's much, much more than just a cheeseburger, and it's really delicious. Our burgers, like I said, are all natural, and it's a blend of picanha, brisket, and chuck, USDA ground beef. So it's really, really high quality and delicious. And as you know, because I remember you and I had the joy of enjoying it when we were at Giraffas, it's delicious.
Well, of course, and people have to understand that this is not just a hamburger. You don't want to go there thinking that. It's like I would call it, remember, you don't know this, but years ago, there was a Dagwood Sandwich. It was one of the comics, when people didn't have the internet. They had to laugh in the newspaper. And this huge thing filled with everything. Nobody knows that anymore. But when I saw it, I said, whoa. How do I eat this? Do I cut it in half? Do I just open my mouth, which I did, and it stays with you. It's a fun thing. That's the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah, it's. You can eat it however you'd like to eat it. You can, like you said, you can cut it in half. I personally just grab it and eat it and open my mouth big wide, and then just enjoy all of the flavors that come with it. And it's
so I know people are wanting to know, okay, well, where is this place? And so we do have listeners in 2 locations that listen to this show. So Fort Lauderdale is one of the locations, and it's right off St. Andrews and Cypress Creek. And there's if you turn right, if you're on I-85, you're just going to get over there to Andrews Avenue, and you'll see a little shopping plaza with a lot of restaurants. Don't stop at any of the other restaurants. I have to tell you, it's a very interesting place to go to because it's not fast food, but it's not sit down dining with cloth tables. Cloth napkins. So the nice thing is you get to go to the counter and you look at all this wonderful food and you decide, well, do I want that? Do I want this? when you finally make the decision, which is not easy, you want it all, but you make a decision, then the nice thing is the wonderful staff you have. You go and you sit down, and they bring you the food when it's ready.
Yeah, well, it's really kind of an up and coming for a little while already concept, which is called the fast casual concept. We're not fast food, and we're not a casual dining restaurant. So really, it's a mixture of both. It's kind of quick service, but a little bit more formality or a little bit more hominess to it. You go up to the counter, you place your order, you get a little pager, you sit down at whichever table you'd like to sit down, and then the servers do bring everything to your table with a real plate, a real knife and fork, so that you can truly enjoy a meal the way you should enjoy a meal, which is the Brazilian way of life. That's Brazilians are all about sharing when they're sitting down and eating. They're all about, having conversations and talking to their children and just joining in at a moment of good food and good conversation and being with your family and friends. So that's what we tried to bring here with Giraffas.
And also the drinks. Now, yesterday when I went there, I had a raspberry drink, I think.
Yes, it's the Izzy, the Pepsi. It's new. Oh, it's so good. It's all natural. It's a sparkling drink. No artificial sweeteners, nothing. It's all good for you, kind of a sparkling drink. So we have that one. And we also have the clementine one. And we have the caipirinhas. Have you tried one of our caipirinhas?
No, I don't know.
Our caipirafas, which is our Giraffas version of the caipirinha.
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's so good.
So you need to go back with me another time.
Yes,
you
definitely.
teach me. I invited a guest, and I was her host, and I was trying to tell her about everything. So the most that I could tell her, and we did order one for both of us, we had the yucca sticks basket.
Yucca sticks. Yes.
Yucca sticks basket.
Yes, that's one of our starters.
And I have to tell you, we both agreed that we didn't even have to order anything else. Just bring them on.
They're so good. They're yucca is originally from Latin America, and what we do is we cut them up kind of like I guess the
potatoes, like
potatoes,
yeah.
And you deep fry them, and then we serve them with a sriracha mayo, and it's oh my gosh, it's heavenly.
But
they're crispy but a little bit mushy on the inside, and they have kind of a hint of sweetness, but salty at the same, but savory. I don't know. It's such a nice combination, and it's a great starter too. To then move on to your favorite, which is the Brutus Burger, obviously.
Well, I didn't have that the second time. Now this was my second time, so I noticed when you were eating there, I wondered what you had. You had the steak with the, I had
the contra filet, which is the New York strip, known in the USA, and then I got the white rice, the black beans, and I love our farofa, which is not very well known here. It's a Brazilian dish of yucca flour, and we put scrambled eggs, green olives, bacon, of course, which just makes it amazing. And that's a truly Brazilian dish when you combine those four elements.
Well, she loved it, and she couldn't eat it all, so she was going, this is funny, we were talking. She said, I can eat all this. So she put half aside. She was going to take it home. Before we finished, she ate most of it, and she still took it. And I said, no, but you can't leave. You must have dessert. And so, of course, nothing would do, but we couldn't have just one dessert. We had to share it. So what we had was the petit gâteau, right?
Yeah, that's like a molten,
that's the
little chocolate
molten
heaven. You cut into it and it oozes out, and then
then the vanilla ice cream with the chocolate. Well, that's the one thing. My husband's he says, okay, food's not as exciting for him, but if I told him about that, he'd go.
Yeah,
and he'd have that first.
And that's also, although the name is in French, the petit gâteau, it's a very Brazilian dessert. So we had to bring it in, and our supplier is actually Brazilian. It's made with a truly Brazilian recipe, so it just adds that Brazilian delicious chocolate, molten-y, gooey, fudgy feeling to it.
And when you go in there, I must say it's very spacious. So it's not like a little fast food place. The tables are gorgeous. I mean, I'm a color person. I see you have your orange on. I usually have. Here's a little something that's kind of African, but I love the idea because it makes everything sunny and happy. But even looking at your chef and who's cooking, and what I couldn't understand is how come you didn't have 5 chefs there? I mean, how did they prepare that so quickly with one or two chefs?
Our director of operations, Michael, is amazing. I mean, he's amazing at training. He really gets these guys to know how to use the grill, which is not an easy feat. I mean, it really is not the easiest part of a hot kitchen. And he just does it. I don't know. And these people know how to grill, and they're good at it, and they know how to grill different types of proteins. All of our proteins are grilled to order. So you place the order. Nothing is holding on the side. It's all kind of done a la minute. So he's just amazing at how he's done that with our grill masters.
Grill masters. I don't think we had to wait 5 minutes. I think we sat down. All of a sudden, well, of course, there came our wonderful yucca. Yucca. I have to get the yucca. Okay, the yucca. And I can see actually when you're going to have a little bit of a party, you could go there. And you're very big into catering, I know. But even the yucca fingers, sticks, fingers, sticks. Use it with your fingers.
Exactly.
You take the sticks
you
with
eat
your
it
fingers.
with your finger.
The yucca sticks. You could actually buy a batch of them and then just heat them up in the oven.
Exactly. Put them up in the oven, and you're good to go with some great appetizers.
Because it's unusual.
It is. And it's actually new also on our menu. So we just brought it on as of November 1st, and it's been a huge, huge hit. And we're planning on a little Facebook surprise for our yucca sticks. So if you like us on Facebook, you might just get some sort of surprise as of January for our yucca sticks.
Okay, so this is what I want to do. Everybody, the other thing I want to say is you can buy beer there. I saw the beer.
Yeah.
Domestic wine split. That's really important because...
And sparkling wine. Sparkling wine. Where else does a fast casual restaurant have sparkling wine? We have Prosecco. And just so that everybody knows, Monday to Friday, we have happy hour, 4 p.m. until close. So it's 2 for 1 on our beer, our wine, and our caipirafas.
Okay, so what are the hours?
The hours vary between store. All of them open at 11 a.m. And then we close, depending on the day, 9, 10, or 12 midnight at some of our other stores. So it just go onto our website at giraffas.com. GIRAFFAS.com, and you can look at all of our locations. You can look at the hours of operation and our menu, and you can just find out much more about it. Yes, salivate, exactly.
Salivate and look at it. So, okay, so now yesterday, you advised me to have the organic quinoa salad.
Yes.
I always have a problem with that word, too. Quinoa, okay. And what I had, though, she said, well, you can add anything you want. So I added shrimp, and I wanted to have some of the beef because I was still drooling for the beef you had. And I did have that. And the salad. And, I mean, I didn't have any to take home.
So the good thing about our salads and our grill platters is you can order the single portion of our proteins. So it can be mahi-mahi, salmon, steak, or shrimp. Or you can mix and match your proteins as well. So apart from the single portion of whatever first protein you choose, you can add shrimp to it. If you ordered steak, you can have salmon and contra. You can really mix and match and make the Giraffas grill platter uniquely yours. And you can do that with our salads as well. So it's not, we want you to make your own dish. You know, we offer you the food and you make it your own.
I love that. And let me just tell you, my guest again is Carolina Frederiksen, who is the marketing director for Giraffas USA, the Brazilian Grill. And if you go into the Boomer Times on page 25, guess what? We have coupons for drink specials, 2 for 1 every day. And we have an exclusive coupon, $2 off. And it's only going to be good now until 2016, 9/30/2016. But I suggest you do this. Now, if you don't exactly know where they are, you need to do what Carolina said, and you want to go to the website, which is giraffas.com.
Yep.
Because here it says Giraffas USA, but that's...
No, that's our hashtag.
Oh,
so
okay,
if you
that's
take
your
a
hashtag.
picture and you want to show up on our social media, just hashtag Giraffas USA. But if you go onto our website, it's www.giraffas.com.
Yeah. It's funny. We have had restaurants before that we've we have a French restaurant up in Delray Beach, and there's always something unique about the restaurant. Otherwise, I really don't want to do it. I don't like mundane. And there's nothing mundane about Giraffas. And, of course, the name, and I asked you about, what does the name come from? It's not. They did not. Someone said, well, are they using giraffe meat? And I said, are you kidding? But
No.
Have anyone ever asked you that?
We have had that
It's
question
so
at the
silly.
beginning. I think now people, we're becoming a little more recognizable. But no, we do not have that. And there are variations actually on where the name came from. The most, I guess, predominant one is that at the time in Brazil and in Argentina and I guess other Latin American countries, a lot of nightclubs and many restaurants, famous ones, big ones, were using kind of African animal names. So then when they came up with the name of Giraffas, they decided to name it Giraffas just because it was the fashion at the time. It was kind of like a la mode. So
okay.
That's why that's one of the theories. And that's, I guess, when I spoke to the founder, to Carlos Guerra, that's the one. He was like, I guess that's why we named it like that. And I'm like, okay.
Just so we know. But
yeah.
But you see, it does set apart. I mean, we're not going to name it it's not going to be like anything else. So what I want to go through, though, with you are some of the other things that what's my next? I have another date to go there. I'm having a lot of dates at your restaurant. So tell me, I could have what you had, because I love that, but what else should I have? I mean, first of all, what's the difference in the contrafilet strip and the picanha? What's a picanha steak?
Picanha is a very famous cut of Brazilian beef. Different countries have different cuts of beef. And this one is specifically known in Brazil because it was brought into Sao Paulo in the 1970s. So it just became famous there. It boomed. And now anywhere you go in the world and you ask for a picanha, that is originally known as being Brazilian. So it's I think it's called a top cap sirloin, which is not very common here in the USA. But if you ask for the picanha and the butcher knows that cut, he can go ahead and get it for you. But so that's the typical Brazilian cut of beef. Then we have the contrafilet, which is the New York strip, much more common here in the USA, and the sirloin. The sirloin is our leanest cut of beef and probably the most common in the USA. But everybody flocks to Giraffas for the picanha just because it is such a Brazilian cut of beef. And our Brazilian market definitely loves our picanha.
Well, and for those of you who aren't on a beef diet, I love beef, actually. But if some of you say, no, I can't have that, we have fish, we have shrimp. We have
mahi and salmon.
Right.
So, yeah, and like I said, all of our proteins, including seafood, are all natural. So antibiotic-free, hormone-free. It's just good for you proteins. Nowadays, everybody's so worried, and we're really taking care that our quality is up to par with what our clientele wants and needs.
And it tastes that way,
yeah,
Carolina. I mean,
exactly.
I'm really so thrilled to have met you for the naturalness, because that's really the difference in some of the other places. Now, there is something here called Galo de Briga.
Galo de Briga.
Oh, I did that one,
yes,
okay.
Yes, Galo de Briga, I guess translated from Portuguese to English would be like the fighting rooster or the fighting cock.
Okay.
So that's what it means. And it's just our infamous chicken breast sandwich. And again, it's kind of like our Brutus Burger, and it has a whole bunch of delicious stuff in it. And it was also one of the first sandwiches that started at the original Giraffas in Brazil. So it kind of translated here to the USA.
So I didn't watch. One thing, next time I go, I'm going to ask the chef if I can watch him. I'm going to go back I want to go do
and you
that.
have to take a video because it's just so much
I
fun,
will.
and you'll see the flames.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. So I want to watch him make the eggs, and
Yeah.
then how he drops them on the sandwiches.
It really, like you said earlier, I am amazed at how they cook and they manage, and they everything is ergonomic, and it's like a beautiful ballet dance in the kitchen. I'm always amazed when I look into the kitchen, and I'm like, wow. I mean, it's like a delicate swan, but for our delicious steaks and burgers.
So I'll wear my tutu when I go in there.
Exactly.
Okay,
I want to see a picture of that, please.
Right. Well, it is. I love talking about this. So there's no point in calling them because we're going to tell you about something that you probably don't know. They love children.
Yes.
And this is called Gira Kids?
Gira Kids menu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what's the difference in the Gira Kids menu?
Well, the portions are smaller. You know, we don't recommend the Gira Kids menu for kids over 12 because the steak is smaller. We have chicken tenders. Things that are much more kid friendly. And the kids love it. So we build a package. We have the Gira plate for them, for the kids, and it comes with a fountain drink included.
Okay, and the prices are so reasonable. I have to tell you, the things we've been talking about, that I've been talking about, run about $9.99, but there are a lot of other things that are much less money. But you have to get one of the yucca sticks basket. I got that,
yes,
right? I'm
definitely.
getting it. Yucca sticks basket. It's only $5, and if you're on a diet, maybe you don't want to have that because it's fried. But then what I would suggest you do is you just don't eat anything else and just buy those, right? And you're gonna go away so happy. Now, the thing you're famous for are your sauces.
Yes,
Talk about that.
Our sauces are homemade. They're fresh made. So we have the Chimichurri Sauce, which is originally an Argentine sauce, and it's herbs with vinegar and oil, and that's delicious with our steaks. We have our, of course, traditional Brazilian vinaigrette. Maybe you're familiar with a pico de gallo, that's Mexican, with the cut tomatoes and onions, but this is much more fresh. It's got a hint of lime to it, and it's also very traditionally eaten in Brazil along with steak, rice, beans, and the farofa. So that's kind of like your traditional dish. We have our garlic butter. Oh my gosh, who doesn't like butter on their steak? It's a compound butter. Steak on our chicken, it's delicious. On our pork, we have our pork picanha as well, which is fantastic with the garlic butter. We have our sriracha butter, it has a hint of spice. Our Bahia butter, not our sriracha butter. It has a hint of spice and coconut milk. So you put that on the salmon, you put that on the mahi-mahi. Fantastic. Bahia is an area in Brazil, which is in front of the beach. So anything that comes from Bahia is kind of much more seafoodish. And then we also have our last one, which is our barbecue sauce. And who doesn't like barbecue sauce?
But
smother that on a chicken fillet and it's delicious.
But I wanted to go over the pork because that's something unusual too to find. So you have pork picanha. Then you have, what else do you do? What do you do with the pork?
Well, the pork picanha, we are the only ones in the USA to currently have the pork picanha. Our meat vendor actually created that cut of pork for us. In Brazil, it's much more common, of course, and we have it here in the USA. It is delicious. It's not dry. It's juicy. It's a nice, I believe it's 6 to 7 ounces of pork, and it's grilled to order as well. And it's really, really, if you can, you have to taste it because you've never tasted pork like
Well, you
this.
just convinced me. I now know my next meeting there will be the pork picanha.
Yeah.
And I'll have to try that also. Of course, I have to order the yuca sticks. Now, what's this? Is this a bread up above I see?
The pão de queijo. It's a bread, but it's actually made out of manioc flour, yuca flour. So it's gluten-free, and they add cheese to it. It's very traditional Brazilian, and pão de queijo translates to cheese bread. So it's maybe two bite-sized little cheese ball pieces of heaven.
Pieces of heaven.
Oh my gosh, they're served warm and they come to proportion. And we actually have our free pão de queijo Mondays. So if you go on Monday, all day Monday, to any of our stores and you make a purchase, you get a free portion of pão de queijo, which is 2 little pão de queijos.
I'm going to do that. Mm-hmm. I'm going to definitely try them. I think you gave me a little taste, but I was so intent on the yuca sticks, I kind of put everything else aside. But that's okay. I'm going to do it. So I think that what I really like about this also are the plates that you're laughing at.
Yes.
They're elegant, little white plates.
They're nice. We have rectangular and square plates. We have real cutlery. And
really
I think
makes a difference, Caroline.
It does.
It does.
It does. We really wanted to go away from, I mean, you can eat it in your car, of course, but the whole point of having a delicious meal is to sit down, to have something nice to look at. Our food is not just delicious, it's beautiful to look at.
Yes.
I mean, the colors, the mixtures, it's just a nice dish.
It's
a
very
nice,
artistically
well-served
presented.
dish. Exactly.
Yes, and I'm very big into that. And it was so beautifully presented. And so I admire that. I admire the colors. And actually, the chairs are very comfortable because even though they're made of some sort of a
like vinyl,
but they fit your back when you're sitting there, and the tables are large. So I didn't see a big group there yet. I see a lot of people sitting 2 and 4, but I'm sure you could really
we've had huge groups in our restaurants, actually.
You just move everything around?
We move everything around. We accommodate everybody. It's very, very family, friend-oriented. You know, we want everybody to feel comfortable and just have a fun time and enjoy the food and get good, high-quality food for a fair, really, really fair price.
Well, before we run out of time, I want to ask you about the catering.
Yes.
Tell us what you do with catering.
We have 2 packages for catering. We have the burger bar, which is, a build-your-own burger. So we give you the patties, whether there are beef patties or the chicken breast fillets, and the bread on the side, and then all of the toppings on the side. So we have bacon, mayo, ketchup, cheese, lettuce, tomato. I mean, anything that you can think of that you want to put on your burger, we go ahead and set that up for you. We also have the Carnival Package, which is our much more Brazilian-inspired package, where you get rice, beans, a salad. Then you get to choose 1 or 2 proteins, and they can be the contrafillet, the shrimp, or the chicken. And I mean, it comes with pão de queijo, and it comes with brigadeiros, which are a Brazilian dessert.
And you know what? Next time you come on, and we'll have you on, we'll talk about the desserts.
Okay.
We're not talking about it now, but I have to say to everybody, the one we talked about, the petit gâteau.
Petit gâteau.
Now, see? You speak all these languages, so it's so easy for you. But everybody, there's cheesecake. I'm not going to tell you about that. But just look for the next article in the January issue, because I will be doing another review of all the wonderful foods I've had there. So thank you. It's been a pleasure, Carolina.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Frederiksen. And I wish you so much luck, and I can't wait to have you back again.
Thank you. This was wonderful.